You know what, man? You know what? It's still pretty good. All right, guys, I have a story for you today. There's a video I posted almost 7 years ago that completely changed the trajectory of my life, the channel, my business, everything that I do here. I can literally trace it back to a single video and a single moment almost 7 years ago. And that video is the 9 sport bike riders you will meet. It was my first viral video. It was my first big success I ever had on YouTube. And there's a really cool backstory about that video, what happened afterwards, and the kind of ramifications of everything after that on the Yammie Noob channel. So today I wanted to tell you the story about my first viral video, everything that happened after that, and what we're doing going forward in the future. Let's get into it. So I'll tell you a little history on the channel. I launched it on June 14th of 2015. So that was a long time ago. And I had literally just gotten my first motorcycle. It was a red and white Yamaha R3. I was super excited about it. And I just needed a way to show my dad, who was living in Brazil at the time, that I had gotten a motorcycle and I was wearing all of my gear because he was worried about me, because he used to ride motorcycles, didn't want me to ride because he thought they were dangerous. Anyways, that's the only thing I really made on my channel for a long time. It was just videos and moto vlogs of me on my R3. Just kind of rolling around the city, recording and, kind of imitating the moto vloggers I saw at the time and just doing that whole thing. I watched guys like Jake the Garden Snake, who is now a friend of mine, and a lot of other guys back in the day. And I was just trying to do something similar, and it was cool because people knew about the R3, and so I was getting some kind of search traffic from that, which was pretty cool. You fast forward to March of 2016, I'd been riding for about 8 months or something like that. And I was working a full-time job, and so I could only post 2 YouTube videos a week. That's all I could really muster while working this full-time job. And so I would go after work and film something on my GoPro and upload it to YouTube, or I would film before getting to work. I'd film something. But there was this one week where it was raining like the whole week. And I thought to myself, how the hell am I supposed to make a video? Like, it's raining, the footage is going to look like crap. What am I going to do? So I got home one night after work and I thought, okay, what can I make if I was just like here in my room with Adobe Premiere? And I'd watched a lot of video essays on YouTube at the time. And so I was like, oh, what if I like write up something funny about motorcyclists that I could turn into like a video using like meme photos, because I know those aren't going to be copyright striked. And I was like, okay, cool, let's do that. So I grabbed all these meme photos and I had a bunch of funny images, and I was like, okay, that's a good starting point. And then I kind of just thought about like, what if I made like a list video, like a poking fun at this community type of thing. So I was like, oh, let's do like the 9 sport bike riders you'll meet, because I'd gone on a lot of group rides at the time, and I'd met a lot of these guys. Again, keep in mind, I've been riding for like 8 months. I genuinely had barely any idea about motorcycling, to be totally honest. And so I wrote up this whole video. I recorded the audio to it. And I had known how to do audio stuff because I'd produced in music and played in bands and all that sort of thing. So I pieced that all together in Adobe Premiere, and I was like, all right, cool. I've got this video, pretty decent little thumbnail title situation. Let's post it tomorrow. So I went to work. The video was scheduled. I posted it. I think it was like at 10 a.m. or 11 a.m. or something. And it wasn't really taking off like I wanted it to. And on my lunch break, I was like, dude, I gotta like try something with this video. So I had a Reddit account that I hadn't used in forever. And I was like, all right, let me try like reposting this video onto the Reddit account that I had on a subreddit called R Motorcycles. And I was like, yeah, that ought to be fine. Like, I ought to get a little bit of traction off of that. So I grabbed the link, posted it up on R Motorcycles. And I said, hey guys, like, check out this funny video that I saw. Not that I was the guy who posted it, right? I was just like, hey, this is a funny video I found, right? I looked at it for like maybe 10 minutes and I saw one comment trickle in, and it was some guy being like, man, this sucks. This guy's just making fun of a bunch of riders. And at that point I was like, man, all right, like, this video clearly doesn't work well. Like, people didn't like it. Let me come up with something else next week. Like, I got to go back to making moto vlogs or whatever. And so I logged off, went back to work, did my emails, did my meetings, did my spreadsheets and whatever else I did at that job. And I checked back in before I ended the day around 4:30. I was like, let me see who else is freaking hated on this video, right? Kind of a masochistic thing. But to my surprise, dude, it had blown up. It was crazy. There was like 60,000 views on the video. All these people were sharing it. I couldn't believe what was happening because I had never had any kind of success in social media doing anything. Even though I'd played in bands and tried to post up content and do stuff, this was the first time I'd ever seen viewership like that on a YouTube video that I had posted. So I said, holy crap, people like this a lot. And so I didn't even know what to do. I had my AdSense and everything set up on that video, and that was the first video that made over $100. And I was like, dude, I made one video and it made $100. I felt like I won the lottery. It was insane. I was like, dude, I was like, $100 can pay for my bike for gas for the whole month. I was like, this is so rad. This is so cool. And I was just over the moon. And then from that point, I was like, dude, how am I going to do this again? I want to do this again with this video. I really, really want to make sure that I can capture this magic again. And truthfully, that's kind of how everything kept going on the Yammie Noob channel after that. All of our successful content comes from this first nugget that I developed, this funny list-based style scripted video about motorcycling. And for today's video, I actually wanted to watch the video back in real time and see if it still stacks up, or is it just like an older video that should probably be shelved somewhere. So let's watch the video back, and then I'll follow up on the rest of the story, and then we'll wrap the video up. Here are the 9 sport bike riders you will meet on your journey as a motorcyclist. We all know sport bike riders are a diverse crowd. There's stunters, squids, hooligans, racers, track guys, high-vis uncles, and newbies, and so many more. Let's walk through some of the more fun examples. Number 1. Mr. 250's always enough. Somehow this glorious bastard is just as fast as you are on your 600cc sport bike. What gives? Is it his racing slicks? Maybe it's those shiny rear sets he has. Are those stock? Wait, are those handlebars lower? It can't be stock. Why does it look so fast? Sometimes a rare example will appear in a Ninja 300. Watch out for these guys. They drag knee everywhere and they're true missiles with their bikes. There's a 50% chance they're wearing high-vis. Number 2, the Euro snob. They just have a unique feel, bro. You wouldn't understand. There's so much character. Come on, guy, let's be real. If we could all afford a $20,000 bike, we'd all be riding it. We know you're either deeply in debt or pretty well off. You don't have to flaunt it. You don't... Oh, God, I want a Ducati so bad. These guys aren't usually very quick, too busy staring at their beautiful bikes. They wear Dainese, guaranteed. Number 3, Old Man Superbike. He's that one guy with the ponytail talking about his trip down to the Tail of the Dragon last year, how he was unimpressed with the road and mentioned some obscure route you've never heard of and says it's way better. Almost always on 1000cc, and he talks like he's seen some shit. He owns at least 4 bikes. He's always in a race suit. Number 4, Old Man High-Vis. Here he is, your uncle from Cycle Gear, in his highlighter yellow built jacket and mom jeans. There's a 96% chance that this guy's on a sport touring machine and says, at GAT, at least twice a day. He will mention gear every time you see him. And the one day he lifts up his jean and you see a metal leg, holy fuck, don't look at it, Jesus Christ, that's a metal leg, okay, wow. Number 5, Mr. So much more comfortable. Ugh, dude, how do you ride that thing? I had to get something comfortable. These bars are so low, man, my bike is just so comfortable. The ergonomics, bruh. These guys cannot deal with super sport ergonomics and had to get something that accommodates their sore backs. They're almost always on a street triple or an SV650, and you're not gonna lie, you're a little bit jealous of their comfy derrieres. Number 6, the thoroughbred squid. Dank woolies, bruh! This guy gives no fucks. Guaranteed to wheelie at least 10 times during a group ride. Like a Donald Trump supporter, thoroughbred squids transcends demographics and come in a variety of styles. Almost always only wearing helmet and gloves. Extra points for sneakers. There's a 60% chance of them being an RCRT member. Remember, it's the squid in their hearts that counts, not the size of the bike. Did I mention dank woolies? Number 7, Mr. Not So Fast. Sorry, but why exactly are you wearing a one-piece race suit and on an R1 if you plan on going exactly the speed limit? That's a suggested speed around that corner. Come on, man, let's go. This variation has chicken strips so juicy that the colonel called and said he stole his recipe. Looks can be deceiving though, because you'll sometimes spot the ultra rare number 8, track day only, bro. Keep it at the track, bro. Track day, super courses. Wouldn't catch me dead on the streets. This rider has done the math. He's crunched the numbers and found that riding on the street just isn't worth it anymore. Typically has a lot of time to devote to track days and a lot of money to support such a habit. He frowns upon you for speeding even slightly on the road. You gotta slow down, Junior. And our final rider knows a little bit all about slowing down. Number 9, the classic. Cafe racer all day, bro. Another pretty rare breed given that their rides are almost always not working. If you do manage to see one in the wild,
out in the field, they're guaranteed to not be riding very quickly. And usually talking about rejetting their carbs. Fuck, why won't this thing work? It looks so cool. Maybe my girlfriend was right. I should just keep it as a work of art. Thanks for checking out this video. If you like what you've seen, be sure to subscribe to my channel. I post new and exciting and glorious videos every Monday. I love you. Here are the
You know what, man? You know what? It's still pretty good, honestly. That's crazy. I don't think I've seen this in probably 5 years or something like that. I don't remember the last time I watched this video. And it's still snappy. I mean, that's what's great about it. Like, it still holds up. I'm not trying to hype myself up. What I'm trying to do is like kind of like give a thank you to my past self for working this hard and doing something like this, because it really paid off. And that's what I want to tell you guys at home. You know, if you have a channel you're trying to grow, keep creating, keep coming up with novel ideas, keep trying stuff, because eventually something will land and then you can start iterating upon it. But if you don't keep trying new ideas and trying new stuff, you won't develop your voice, you won't develop your format, and then it's going to take you onto, you know, bigger and better things. Because, I mean, literally, I see salty comments sometimes on the YouTube channel where they're like, oh man, like, why are you still making list videos? Why are you still making these scripted videos? But there are bread and butter, and they still do very well. It's difficult for me to stop making those videos if people still resonate with them and watch them, and they still get like really good viewership over the long term. And we'll explore with different formats. Like sometimes I do in-person list videos where I just like kind of goof off in front of the camera. Sometimes it's better to have it a little bit more scripted and tight. But yeah, I mean, that format really carried the Yammie Noob channel in terms of like media until today, basically, almost 7 years later, because this video was posted on March 17th of 2016. That was a long time ago, guys. And, you know, it was through the giveaway bikes and through these videos and then the community, and it's just so cool. And speaking of the community, I've seen comments of people saying that, like, we influenced their, like, motorcycling journey when they were, like, young. Because, I mean, again, this video came out 7 years ago. If you were 13 or 14 years old and you kept up with us until you're 21 now and you're graduated, you have a job and a bike, I mean, there's a very real chance that someone out there right now watching it is this person who we have influenced their entire motorcycling journey. And that just, like, is so humbling to me. And I try to really remember that and keep that in check whenever I think about the kind of responsibility I have to post to my channel and to have fun with you guys and to keep our community going. But it's just really amazing, man. And it's just so cool to see that this one little spark built a fire that kept going all of these years later. And you just never know what's going to take off on YouTube. You just never know. So, guys, I hope you enjoyed the story of my first viral video and the kind of the video that changed all of Yammie Noob's trajectory. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Let me know down in the comments if you watched this one real time when it came out all the way back in 2016, or if you kind of caught up with us later on in the years. I'd love to see you sound off in the comments down below, and I really appreciate it. Thanks so much for watching. Well, look at you. You've made it to the end of another Yammie Noob video. You should consider yourself pretty lucky because I have curated this one right over here for you to continue watching. It's probably just as good as the one you just saw. Unless you hated the one you just saw. I don't know, maybe leave me a comment down below about how much you hated it as well too. Or just keep watching this one. Make sure you keep watching Yammie Noob. Don't forget to keep watching Yammie Noob. That's the most important thing. Keep watching Yammie Noob.